Right. Top of the morning, top of the evening, top of the night, whatever time zone you are on, we are live. A moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives. All right. Let's remember, everybody, if we can look up, we can get up. If we can get up, we can go up. You see the title. This is No Nonsense News. We're going to get right off into it. But before we get off into it, let me get to this announcement. To the mindless people, some mindless people, not everybody is mindless. Fake flagging channels is going to end up with YouTube being in court. Google as a distribution platform, which is what it's called. So, to you mindless, fake flagging people, again, business is business. I wasn't born that night. And even if I was, I wasn't born yesterday. I mean exactly what I said. This is no nonsense news. So, for those who like to fake flag channels and content, all you're going to do is end up with YouTube/Google as a distribution center going to court. They the ones that had a big bank. And you'll get them sued. Just like that. Now, having said that, to everyone else, let's remember we can look up, we can get up, we can get up, we can go up. With that being said, we're going to get right off into this music, and we are going to get off into the topics at hand. Is no nonsense news tonight, so you know we're not holding it up for anyone. Let's go.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination, though you may find from time to time complications. You cannot slip. Just move on up. For peace you'll find into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you. Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey rumors people say, but you can pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it.
So y'all ready to move on up? All right, let's get to this news. No nonsense news tonight. Let's get to it. All right, make sure I'm still good. Okay, let's get off into this. Uh-oh. My hair is doing its own thing. This section want to be a bang. This section want to be a puff. Again, hopefully everybody's been doing the best that they can in the situation that they're in. And I want to remind you, this is no nonsense news. Fake flagging will get YouTube sued. Simple. And if I catch you, then it'll be whatever it will be. Simple. Okay. Now, having said that, let's get to some things. Before we get off into Dijon, who was the African-American gentleman, 29 years old, murdered in Los Angeles, South California. Let me say South California. I don't know exactly where he resided at, so I can't say downtown LA. I'll just say South California. But when we read the articles, we will see. I find it a bit perplexing that he would get stopped for a bicycle violation and end up dead. So we'll look at that tonight. And because this is no nonsense news tonight, I will forego going over the financials today. And I'm going to stick right on police corruption in this administration with their corrupt self. This is no nonsense news. Simple. So let's get off into these articles. We're still in a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic. U.S. citizens. Let me say this to you. Your rights don't apply in other nations. So you can be as free as you want to in the United States of America. When you go to other nations, they don't care. They do not care. Be free in your own country. We still in a pandemic. So some people have to learn the hard way because they want to be defiant. Well, your defiant self got slapped with all them fees. And it is what it is. No nonsense news. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get these disclaimers out of the way. Again, graphic content, parental consent, and viewers' discretion is advised. Again, YouTube and all other viewers, this is not a kiddie channel. Filter is already set for the fake flaggers. No nonsense news tonight. All right, we're still in a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic. Chicken plant closed, California, almost over a week ago. No nonsense news. Where did the pandemic go to?
CoverGirl,
I don't
clean, fresh
support
skim milk,
CoverGirl.
formulated without
Simple.
formaldehydes, phthalates, parabens, sulfates, and talc, giving me a healthy, natural look that
YouTube,
says,
y'all need to
"This
get
is me."
these ads
Clean,
out of
fresh
here.
skim milk. Pair it with the new hydrating concealer and talc-free powder from Easy Breezy Beautiful. CoverGirl.
A major California meat packaging plant has been ordered to shut down for a week after eight workers died from the coronavirus and nearly 400 others tested positive. NBC News correspondent Jacob Ward joins me outside the Foster Farms poultry plant in Livingston, California. Jake, 8 workers from one plant. I mean, that is just tragic. What are we learning about this outbreak and how it started?
This is no nonsense news.
You know, Savannah, standing here as I am in Merced County, it is amazing how different this is from the California you see in the postcards. This is the big, open, flat, central valley of California that feeds not just this state, but America. I mean, huge amounts of agricultural products come out of here. And one of the biggest employers, certainly in this part of it, is the plant you see behind me, Foster Farms, which produces huge numbers of poultry products out of here. The smell here is that of boiled chicken. You can just sense the enormity of this employer's influence across this town. Unfortunately, 2 months ago, an outbreak was declared here by county health officials. And they've gone on to call this outbreak the largest and most severe, longest lasting, and most severe outbreak in the county, with nearly 400 people testing positive and 8 people dead. This is a disaster. Now, you should keep in mind, Savannah, that we're talking here about an industry in which if one person dies on the job from something like heat exhaustion or is killed by the machinery, then the factory in a traditional time would have shut down. But it has taken 8 deaths before a shutdown order has gone into place. Tonight, that begins 6 days of shutting down, at which point the company says that they're going to have a clean slate and start over with new procedures and hopefully an entirely clean employee base here.
We're still in a pandemic. California, your governor stayed in the news in March, April. So to the companies and the big businesses there, this right here doesn't make any sense. 400 employees tested positive, 8 employees dead. That's a lawsuit. Y'all getting ready to get sued. This is no nonsense news. It's going to be what it's going to be. The families are going to sue you, and rightfully so, as well as the facility needs to be sterilized. Deep cleaning. You better bring those UV ray lights in to kill all the coronavirus out the atmosphere. This is no nonsense news. That right there didn't make sense at all. At all. It makes absolutely no sense. And I hope the family sue y'all 10 times over. You deserve it. Then y'all distribute throughout the United States. That's an issue. But I don't like chicken like that anyway. Sure, y'all have other stuff other than chicken, but I don't care for chicken like that. But this right here makes absolutely no sense. Like, who don't know we still in a pandemic? 6 million people have tested positive now for COVID-19 in the United States of America. That makes no sense. So I'm gonna need employers as well as others to get stuck off stupid. This is the year we leave How dumb can you be behind? All right. To the rest of Americans, some, not all, because some of us got good sense and others don't. They feel entitled to do whatever they want to do. So, to the entitled people, listen, other nations can care less about your laws once you hit their territory. US law is non-applicable. That means it does not apply. This is no nonsense news tonight. Right here. American driving through Canada to Alaska faces $569,000 fine for stopping to sightsee. Oh, well, what you did didn't make any sense. Americans can technically drive through Canada to Alaska right now, even though the border is closed, but there are rules to follow. And hitting up a sightseeing gondola is not allowed. Grandiola is not allowed. We are still not allowed in Canada. A Kentucky man didn't follow the law and became the first American. Let me blow this up. Let me blow this up a little bit more on this. Had to be from Kentucky, right? Seat of controversy right now. I don't feel no type of way for this Kentucky man. Period. This is no nonsense news. What you didn't make sense. A Kentucky man didn't follow the law and became the first American arrested in Canada for violating the country's Quarantine Act. You can be free and do whatever you want to here to a certain extent. When you hit another nation, you better comply to their laws, because if you don't comply to their laws, basically your derriere is grass. Simple. Oh, well. And one thing about Canada is they will detain your behind at that border. So you got 20 tickets because you didn't follow Canada's law. So let's see how that work out for you. Maybe Trump and friends will give you some money to get out of the situation, or maybe you paid yourself out of the situation. But whatever rate, at any rate, U.S. citizens, don't get this stuff twisted and confused. This is no nonsense news. You can't do what you want to do in another nation. They're not playing that mess. Let Donald Trump get you twisted up and tied up in a knot if you want to, and get your thinking twisted in the wind. Another nation will check that paradigm and you're thinking real quick. It's a news flash. Now that we had to address that on No Nonsense News, because that absolutely is nonsensical to Americans who think they can do what they want to do in another nation. Reality check. It's reality check. And that's what you get. Because they told you. Let me get back into this. They already told you what was up. Sliding yourself over in there thinking you can do whatever you wanted to do because you was American. Don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. Like Canada said on the onset, be free in your own nation. That mess don't fly over here. So, from Canada, from America to through Canada, don't get out sightseeing, because that's against state law. We are not supposed to be over there. We can drive through there, but we're not supposed to be over there doing nothing else. And we can only drive from there to Alaska. So honestly, they want you to get your gas. No nonsense news. All right, police, you know I'm going here. Where's the body footage? Where's the body cam footage? Chicago, Illinois. You know I got to come to you. This is foolishness. This is foolishness. Now, last week, police in Illinois were being shot at. That's not new. Police are being shot at quite frequently, even in this state. But I want to listen to this director over the police department, because this is no nonsense news, and some stuff you said in here just does not make sense. Not only does it not make sense, you show favoritism to police officers. You have respect of persons. Hey, John, how you doing? John, I tell you what, when it in regards to that coronavirus, that scientists say you can get it twice. Some people have tested positive for 3 times. 3. Hey, Jen. You said you're gonna hurry up and get through Canada? Yeah, you would have to. John, you know what? I know medical people who work in the field, and like they said, it's different ways when they go into tests. It's different ways that they are testing. Now, I know for a fact that the ones who have been doing this for months said, listen, you can have COVID-19 and you can get a blood test, but an active case of coronavirus, you should be doing a nose swab to see if it's an active case. You know, it's just, they say you can get it twice. It's been so much more information coming out about COVID-19 while we're right here, because we're still in a pandemic. Not only that, some people are said to have had it 3 times. And each time it is impacting the body differently. So what you can be sure of is I'm not taking a virus. I mean, I refuse to have a virus in my system, period. I'm not taking an antibiotic. This is no nonsense news. I said that on the onset. No one's going to guinea pig test on me. I don't care what type of medicines they come out. I don't care what they're saying, because just because it works for one person does not mean it will work for another. Everybody has a different immune system. So no, all that guinea pig testing, all that premature pushing of vaccinations and medicines, absolutely not, because you don't know the lifelong effects it will have on the human body, as well as the person's body who's allowing themselves to be tested. Sometimes it takes up to 5 to 10 years plus for impacts to show up in people's body. No, I'm not with that. I ain't with it. Won't be guinea pig testing on me, I can tell you that. That's what we're not going to do. Absolutely not. So I will agree with you. We need more information. But what the United States needs to stop doing is acting like it didn't happen in China. It didn't happen in Italy. They need to stop acting like other nations are not conducting thorough research. Because Italy did some stuff a long time ago that was extremely thorough in terms of testing how far it can travel in the air versus being in a manufacturing location or a population where manufacturing is high versus an area where manufacturing is not high. China have been testing hospital floors over there, how long it lasts on the floor, how far it travel on the floor, the way it transfers on the floor and surfaces. See why the United States is coming over here. No, other nations have already been conducting research. So they need to do information sharing. That's what needs to happen. So, but let's get back to this no nonsense news. Where's the body cam footage? You know what? This redundancy from the police department is asinine at this point. It is completely asinine. They keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. You keep shooting people, then you say, oh, we don't have the body cam footage, or we're not going to release the body cam footage right away. In certain instances, see, when they think they're right, and this is Chicago, Illinois right now, when they think they're right, because Chicago, your department, your police department have been shown in the news media releasing some video cam from police officers right away. But for this incident involving this teenager, you didn't want to release this. You still haven't released it. Where the body cam footage? Because right now, I'm not taking a police testimony or their word as any evidence. Absolutely not. This is no nonsense news. We don't do foolishness. Okay, John.
Hey, good morning. Now, this happened last night before 11 p.m. And you can still see police still on the scene, actively investigating the situation. It started with all of 5 suspicious individuals hanging here on West 19th Street and ended with an exchange of gunfire and a man in the hospital. Police are saying around 10:45, 12 district officers were met with gunfire coming from 5 individuals who were on the 1300 block of West 19th Street after receiving that suspicious person call. A police vehicle was hit with a bullet. Officers returned fire and shot one of the individuals. Right now, that suspect is at Stroger Hospital in critical condition. Now, you can see one of the vehicles has shattered glass on the ground right under the passenger side vehicle, side of the vehicle, I should say. There are also police markers showing where multiple bullets are lying on the ground. Now, 2 arrests were made after the gunfire ended. Police told us they recovered a weapon here at the scene. Take a listen.
The offender's weapon was recovered from the ground with an extended magazine. That person was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and we currently have 2 offenders in custody.
And Chicago police posted this tweet earlier this morning.
Me a gun,
it's a
don't mean
of the
nothing.
gun that was recovered here at the scene. Police say they are cooperating with the Civilian Office of Police Accountability as they conduct an investigation into this shooting. And back here on the scene, police are still investigating. Again, out of the 5 people, 1 is in the hospital and 2 are in custody. And police are telling us none of the officers were injured. For now, we're live in Pilsen. I'm Glenn Marshall, WGN
This is no
News.
nonsense news on this channel. Showing us a gun in a photo means absolutely nothing to us. It could be forensically impossible that it belonged to any of the suspects. And we're going to talk about forensic impossibilities on No Nonsense News later on this week. So you recovered a gun from who? Where's the forensics at? Also, where's the footage from the police body cam? Where's the footage from the police body cam? All the cops that were involved. Where's the footage at? We don't want to hear them coming out continuously talking about what happened. Show us what happened from start to finish with the audio enabled so we can hear. because we don't want to hear you allegedly gave commands and you allegedly did this. And then when we do get the audio, it's a lie. Let's get to the 19-year-old that they alleged shot at, well, I don't want to say alleged, that shot at police, but I still haven't seen any body cam footage. So I will have to say alleged until I see footage from the body cam. And he refused to get out the car, allegedly. But from my perspective, he had every right to defend himself because the police started breaking the windows. And that's when he started shooting, allegedly. And the police don't have the body cam footage. You can tell us anything. We don't want to hear it anymore from police. I don't want to hear it. This is no nonsense news. I don't want to hear it anymore. Show us the video footage in its entirety, unedited, with audio enabled. Uh-oh. I keep going to this one. On YouTube. Don't be evil, Google. Is anybody else just a little bit perturbed with the police departments always coming out saying the footage, we don't have body cam footage, or giving half of the video footage with no audio?
Also tonight, a Chicago teenager is charged with 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder for a shootout with Chicago police and wounded 2 officers. It all started when police noticed a missing front license plate, but officers said it quickly escalated. CBS News' Marissa Parr joins us live from Stroger Hospital, where one of those officers is still being treated. Marissa.
Now, I've been waiting to show this.
Brad, one of those officers was released yesterday. That other that you just mentioned remains intubated here after being shot twice. One of those bullets just narrowly missing his heart. As for the man police say shot at them, well, he's now being held on $10 million.
That's ridiculous.
A chaotic scene Sunday left 3 injured, including 2 Chicago police officers, after a traffic stop turned into a shootout on the west side. 19-year-old Javon Williams is now charged with 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder. The state's attorney's office paints a picture of a tense situation.
Focus called in. 2 officers have been shot. Focus called in.
At around 2 a.m. Sunday, police pulled over the 19-year-old in the Homan Square neighborhood. They say Williams then crawled from the driver's seat and hid in his trunk. After officers spotted a gun in the front of the car and ordered him to come out, they say he started crawling closer to the gun. It was then that they broke the window and pulled him out, but he'd managed to get the gun, and according to prosecutors who have seen the body cam footage, he started firing at the officers and they fired back. In all, the struggle left all 3 hurt by gunfire, including the 19-year-old who was shot by a 3rd officer as Williams tried to run away. The injured officers were part of the summer mobile unit that launched in June as part of the superintendent's attempt to curb crime in the south and west sides of the city. One officer was released Sunday afternoon to a sea of saluting colleagues waiting outside. The other officer remains intubated with damage to his lung and colon. Police say that when they asked Williams for a statement, he said, quote, "Expletive that officer. I hope he dies." In today's climate, with sky-high tensions and mistrust within some communities and police, the question remains, why not release the body cam footage? Superintendent Brown says he'd like to, but that's up to the ones investigating this.
I'm more inclined to get it out sooner rather than later. I want to put it out soon, but I have to do that in coordination with
so
COPA.
The superintendent, and I keep calling him the director. Well, superintendent, anyway, He's in upper management position in Chicago as it relates to police. We do want to see the body cam footage. We want to hear it for ourselves. Don't sit up and tell us the police pulled him over for a traffic light. Because when I saw the video footage from the other news clip, the little section that they did show, the part where they started rolling the cameras was when the police were hitting and breaking those windows. I didn't see a shot get fired. But then again, like I said, don't tell me that he fired at the police first and he was crawling in the back of his car. Prove it to us. Show it. Prove it. Because I saw the part where y'all was breaking down the windows. And I said, oh, if they sitting here breaking his windows, I would shoot at them too. Self-defense. Now you busting my windows. Now you are. My life is in imminent danger. You have become a threat. We watched this year police officers snatch teenagers in Atlanta out of a car. They were not even near protesting. Tased them and snatched them out of the car and break their windows. And you think this teenager want to get out? No, but prove it. Again, no body cam footage. Where's the police body cam footage in both of these instances? We don't want to hear what the police have to say. They better show us. Because usually when they tell a story and the body cam come out, it does not coincide with what they said happened. In Chicago, y'all know better. And for the superintendent who drove the police officers to the hospital, by the way, that's the news clip I wanted to show, where the officers that got shot, he drove the officers to the hospital. That's having respect of persons, sir. You set up and you let other civilians die, but he took the time out to drive those police officers to the hospital himself. He didn't let 911 take him. He drove them. Are you going to drive everybody to the hospital that's getting shot? Or does that preferential treatment only apply to police officers? While everybody else who's shot get to lie on the concrete or lie on cars or lie in streets or whatever and just bleed to death. Let us know. This is no nonsense news. No. Where's the body cam footage? Unedited, unaltered, unmodified. Where is it? See, they sitting up saying anything, but this is no nonsense news. I'm not getting ready to take the police word. Prove it. Not only that, we want the forensics. Where is it? Where's the DNA from the alleged suspects or shooters? Where is it? Stop just coming out telling us anything. Because some of this stuff the police have come out and said is forensically impossible. That means they're lying, covering, and everything else. Now I have to do a flashback. Hey, free game. Right. Show us. We want to see it. But wait till we get to the Dijon on the end. And the California sheriffs didn't have body cams on at all. No body cams at all in California. Oh my goodness. Some police in Kentucky filed. We still waiting for officers to be arrested and charged in Breonna case. They haven't been. This is no nonsense news. It's a flashback to what happened in 2018. Parental consent. Viewers' discretion is advised.
We are getting ready to stop. Off though. Oh, we stopped. That was a stop. Full stop.
The warrant. Another raid for drugs. Wrong house. Louisville, Kentucky. 2018.
Ducking it. Preacher up! Stairway up. Police search warrant! I gotta open the door left. Got a stairway. Bang in, bang in, bang in. Police search warrant! Hey, police search warrant! Hey, let me see your hands. You got that? I got one. Come to the sound of my voice. Come down. Come down to me. Who's coming out? Let me see your hands. Come on out. Thank you. Here, slow down. Come on, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Just come out to the sound of my voice. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me. Hey, don't move, okay? One over. Here, come on out this way. Only one over. Come out this way. Mark. Man, come out this way. Full cover. Hands up. I know. I'm just. Hands up, baby. I got you. Come to me. Hands up. Hands up.
Louisville, Kentucky, 2018. They at the wrong house. The wrong house. This is no nonsense news.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! One female at the back. You have anything on you or anything I need to know about? No. No guns, nothing. Come over here, right over here. No guns or nothing that's gonna hurt me. How old are you? 14. 14? I'm gonna look and make sure you don't have no guns, okay? Nothing that's gonna hurt me.
I heard like a couple bangs. First, I thought it was probably like a door or something. And I was running and yelling, stop, stop. I hit like right there, like there's like a steep. So I right there, next thing you know, I seen like a whole bunch of people pointing their assault rifles at me straight to my head. The first thing that happened went to my mind. What happened? What happened? The first thing that came to my mind. My dad got shot.
Do you see law enforcement the same way that you used to before that?
No. Innocent family held at gunpoint. No reason. False accusations. It's wrong. We was kids. We shouldn't have to go through that. Especially if we didn't deserve it. You know, the first night we got back to this house, I had to sleep in my parents' room. I couldn't even be in my room by myself. Like, nothing. It was up all night. If I heard the smallest thing, I would think something's out there. Still to this day, if I hear somebody, a door shut hard, I'll come down here and see what it is.
We relive this stuff every day. It's like, man, our kids, man, they'll never forget about this stuff. And it's like, it just hurt, because we good people, you know, we never been a part of the problem.
So what's up with that, Louisville, Kentucky, and to the police forces all across United States of America? Wrong house on an alleged drug raid with the wrong address. And keep in mind, GPS is accurate. This was 2018. This is no nonsense news. GPS and satellite is just about as accurate as you can get in real time, as well as Google Earth, as well as Google Maps. Now, it's beyond me how police officers are still allowed to remain on the force. But I guess they would be if corruption is at the top, from the top to the bottom. Again, no, we're not taking the police word as evidence. You're going to have to show us video footage and forensics, because some things are forensically impossible. You come out, officers have came out, some officers come out, they lie on people. You get your supervisor covering for you. You get the department heads and the sheriffs covering for you. You get prosecutors covering, you get judges covering, sitting on cases till statutes of limitations run out. No, this is no nonsense news. Don't tell us. Don't tell us what happened. Show us what happened. And make sure it's not forensically impossible. Yeah. But don't tell us. Especially when you have body cam footage, Chicago. Don't tell us what happened. Show it. Prove it. Because half of the times, what y'all saying is forensically impossible. Biologically, digitally, and otherwise. It's forensically impossible. Your stories have been forensically impossible. That means you're lying. All right. No body cams, bicycle violation. This is the one that I've been waiting for. No nonsense news. The family has retained some attorneys, and Attorney Benjamin Crump is one of them. Now, Dijon allegedly got stopped on a bicycle violation. And bicycle violations, because I've been reading California law as it pertains to bicycle violations, can be like a car or a motor vehicle violation. But when reading through the newspaper article, what the police was saying, or the way that the news journalists wrote the article, everyone that I've read through, it didn't make sense. It made absolutely no sense. Furthermore, these sheriffs and these officers had absolutely no body cams. None. Also, I saw more video footage that I'm not going to show tonight on Attorney Benjamin Crump's Instagram page. What I never see Dijon doing is reaching for a gun. I never see him reach for a gun, ever. I see him get shot and hit the ground. I see police officers attack him. He kind of shoved the police off. He'd swing on them. Then he turns back around and continues to run. What I did see was him running quite a bit away from the police. And when the officers finally caught up with him, and the one tried to do whatever, pushed him off, swung on him, turned back around, and continued to run. And it was after that I saw shots fired. Not one time did I see him ever reach for a gun. Furthermore, they didn't even know he had a gun until his clothes started falling, because when he ditched his bicycle, allegedly, he had all his clothes in his hand. And allegedly, a gun was wrapped in the clothes, but prove it. Don't tell us. Prove it. And even if he did have a gun, you have a right to bear arms. Second Amendment. California, if you over 18, you can bear arms. But here we go. Dijon being murdered by police because they fired over 20 shots at him. That means both officers were shooting. But they didn't have no body cam footage. So they want us to take their word as the evidence instead of presenting us with the evidence. No. This is no nonsense news. We're not doing that.
Kick 9 has obtained 2 new videos tonight of the shooting of Dijon, a black man. They do not show the shooting, but they are important because what captures the sound.
No one got killed.
We heard 18 rounds of bullets fired in the videos, bullets that ended Kizzy's life. Tonight, the Sheriff's Department is also sharing new information they say lead up to the shooting. KCAL9's Leslie Marin has our story.
Susie, Jeff, well, out here at the sheriff's station, you can see majority of the protesters have now left. There's only about a handful really left on the sidewalk, but there are plenty more.
Okay. All right, the sound is gone. So I'll be back. Sound. Sound is gone. I'll be back. I can't hear it. Yeah, sound is gone. I'll be back.